What's going on, guys? This is the Wizard Report Podcast, Episode 3. I am the Wizard, and here's your report. Remember, guys, All-American CBD gummies. Man, are they good, and they get me feeling great right when I want to come in here and make this podcast. Hey, they are perfect. They get me feeling level, right where I need to be. Just want to send a shout out to them. They're in the link below, guys. Get you some All-American CBD hemp gummies. Also, get your day started off with a bang. Bang Energy. That's where I am. That's where you need to be. All right, guys. Curtis Blaydes, TKO's Junior Dos Santos. Man, he looked really good, and I picked him, but I thought he'd get it done by ground and pound. He got it done on the feet, showing us that he is the real deal, showing us that he can get it done where we didn't expect him to get it done, where we thought that Junior would for sure have the advantage. That was not the case, guys. That was not the case at all. He got it done on the feet. He stood his ground, hung in there in the pocket, and traded. And you know what? Looked good doing it. Looked really good doing it. Man, I thought Curtis Blaydes, calling for the title shot afterwards was perfect, because he's pretty much, the only person he's lost to in the UFC is Francis. So, I thought that was perfect. I thought that he needed to call for that. He's not going to get it, of course, but what else is he supposed to do? That was where he needed to be. And Junior going in with those lead uppercuts, I looked over at my buddy right when he was doing that, and DC even said it on the broadcast right after I said it. I was like, you're leaving yourself open. You're leaving yourself wide open. At the end of the first round, when Junior threw that lead uppercut, he landed, but Curtis landed too. And both their heads went back. And I was just like, man, that was, that's just, it's irresponsible. But, it's worked for him so much in the past. I know why he does it. I mean, it's a great weapon for him. But Curtis Blaydes, guys, Curtis Blaydes, he's the real deal. People need to take him serious. Not saying that they don't, but he could very well be champion. And he ate some big shots. Junior landed some shots, man. It's not like he didn't land. It's not like he did not land. But Curtis Blaydes, he got the job done, and he got it done on the feet, which is not what anyone thought would happen. So shout out to him. And what should Curtis Blaydes do next? Because he's not going to get the title shot. I think Curtis Blaydes, the best thing that he should do is, if Derek Lewis wins, I think he should fight Derek Lewis, because he's not going to get the title shot. He'll need a big name. Who bigger right now than my balls was hot? And that would be a definitely winnable fight for Curtis Blaydes. So Curtis Blaydes, if Derek Lewis can beat Latifi, Curtis Blaydes should go after Lewis and get that name on his resume. Now, I think Junior can rebound. He's getting up there in age, but I think he can rebound. He's gonna have to be careful throwing that lead uppercut from now on, though. That's a very dangerous punch, and nowadays in MMA, that's going to be. Striking has developed so much, and people are no longer just wrestlers and all that. They're no longer just jiu-jitsu artists. They're no longer just strikers. Curtis Blaydes is not just a wrestler. We found that out tonight. So Junior's going to have to, start disguising that lead uppercut, and I think he will. I think Junior should rebound with, not rebound, but I think he should come back to Walt Harris. And when Walt Harris comes back, I think that him and Junior, that'll be a great fight. And so that's what I think needs to happen. Junior versus Walt Harris. Moving on along, the co-main event, Michael Chiesa versus RDA. That was a great fight. I thought that was perfect. I called that wrong. I picked RDA, and I was wrong. Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa did it, guys. He was perfect. You know, he went in there. He was the bigger man. He got after it. He made it a grappling match. I thought RDA would oblige him, and I thought his grappling would be enough. It was not. And man, is Michael Chiesa big. He looked big against Condit. He looked even bigger tonight. Goodness gracious. He's going to be a force. He's going to be a force, and if his striking gets better, who knows how high he can go. Who knows? He could be champion. Not saying he will, but he could. He couldn't finish RDA, but not many people can. Not many people can. But he looked great. He definitely won some. He definitely won 2 rounds. He definitely won 2 rounds. He got the job done. He looked good doing it. He was dominant. He was dominant. And what more can you say? You know, I mean, Michael Chiesa at 170 pounds is a force to be reckoned with, and the rest of the division needs to be put on notice. Calling out Colby Covington was absolutely genius. I don't know if Colby will oblige him. He made that video with Cam Hanes on YouTube saying that he was getting ready for Usman. I thought that was good on his part, smart for him to do that, but he's not going to get the immediate rematch, I don't think. So, you know, what are you going to do? I think he should fight Chiesa. I think that would be the perfect fight for him. I think that him versus Chiesa is a sellable fight. And I think that Chiesa, you know, he would have, how can I say this? Him and Colby would be an interesting matchup, to say the least. It would be a fight where both would pose problems for one another. The grappling, it would be a very good grappling MMA fight. Let's just say that, because that's what it would be, I think. Who knows? Maybe they'll go out there and strike just like Usman and Colby did, but I highly doubt that. So, I think that Chiesa and Colby, that will be a great fight. I think that's what should be next for Chiesa. I think that RDA should bounce back, and this is a very dangerous, I guess not bounce back. I think he should fight next, or come back to Geoff Neal. And that's a real dangerous fight, because who looks better than Geoff Neal right now at 170 pounds? I mean, goodness gracious. But, you know, somebody's got to give Geoff Neal a chance. And why not RDA? I mean, that's gonna show us if Geoff Neal's the real deal, right? So, RDA versus Geoff Neal. I think that's the fight to make. That'll be very interesting. It'll show us if Geoff Neal's the real deal, and it will show us. Yeah, that's why I want it. That's why I want it. I wanted to see if Geoff Neal is the real deal. I think RDA versus Geoff Neal is the fight to make. Let's see it. Alex Perez submits Espinoza. Wow, what a fight that was. He did it, and he did it looking good, because I thought that fight was going to be a banger. I thought it was going to be a 3-rounder, and it was not. He just went out there and handled business. And that's how you handle business, folks. That was absolutely the way to go out there and make a point. And he made his point. Alex Perez he's been out for a little while, but I thought that was what he needed to do. He needed to make a statement he needed to make a statement Saturday night, and he did, guys. That's how you make a statement. And he choked him unconscious. I don't know what other way to make a statement, you know. besides knockout. So that's the way to do it. And I think that, you know, Alex Perez needs to fight Song Yadong next. I think that Song Yadong versus Alex Perez is a fun fight, and I think that it's the fight to make. I think that Song Yadong and Alex Perez would absolutely be fireworks. Not many people outside, not many casuals know about these two guys, and I think if they met, I think it would be, and put them on a big card, I think it would be a good way to get both of their names out there. So Song Yadong versus Alex Perez is what the Wizard thinks. Now, let's see. Angela Hill takes care of business, and she does it in devastating fashion. I thought that she looked absolutely amazing. I thought that she did what she needed to do, and I hope that she doesn't do what she usually does and goes, you know, wins one, loses one. I don't like that Angela Hill. I want Angela Hill to go and put together a few wins, okay? She's got all the talent in the world, and she went out there and completely dominated Hannah Cifers, which I thought she would do, okay? So Angela Hill absolutely has the potential to be a champion. She's very athletic, and she can put all of her skills together. Let's see her do it. Let's see her go on a run. I think that she needs to fight either, you know, I know Amanda Ribas has a fight coming up. I think if she, you know, Paige got hurt, I know they got somebody filling in. I think that if Amanda Ribas comes out with a win on that one, then Angela Hill should fight her. If that doesn't happen, then Felice Herring. I think that would be the fight to make. Felice Herring versus Angela Hill or Amanda Ribas. That's the way to go. Now, I think that I wanted to talk real briefly, guys, about the Herbert Burns knockout. That was absolutely fantastic. He busted on the scene with a big win, and he needed that's the way you want to get your name out there. That's the way that that was his first UFC fight, and he came in and did what he needed to do. You know, so much for the UFC jitters. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Herbert Burns. He did a great job. You know, most people lose their first UFC fight, and he went out there and won in spectacular fashion. That's the way you do it. That's the way you come out there and handle business. Good job for him. Absolutely fantastic. You can't do it any better than that, guys. You can't do it any better than that. So, fantastic. Joe Rogan versus Stephen A. Smith. Of course, we have to talk about this, and I know everybody's talking about it. I made a video on it, and it was distorted, so we couldn't post it, couldn't upload it. So I wanted to talk about it on this video. First of all, Stephen A. Smith is a broadcaster. He's not a journalist. Everything he does for views. And he makes damn good money doing that. I think he's the highest paid person at ESPN now with $8 million a year. Congratulations for him. And second of all, the Joe Rogan versus Stephen A. Smith thing, I don't think it's like a versus thing. I just think Joe said what he thought, and that's what he does on his podcast. You know, he's just going to say what he thinks about everything. And Stephen A. heard it, and he made a video about it. That's what Stephen A. Smith does, you know. So you can't really blame him on that. And you know, Stephen A. Smith does what he does, and he's probably the best at causing controversy. That's why he gets paid $8 million a year. So you can't really knock him on that. But boy, did he get burnt over the coals. I mean, he absolutely is getting hammered for talking about Cowboy and giving up and not learning anything about Conor. And I personally think that Stephen A. Smith didn't, you know, like Joe said, why isn't Daniel Cormier there? Why isn't Daniel Cormier in that position? And I tend to agree with what Joe's saying. I think that you know, I mean, ESPN's doing it for views. Stephen A. Smith, like I said, is the best at causing controversy, so they put him there to get views. And you know what? It may work. It probably is working. Like Stephen A. said, go check out, you know, go check the numbers. Well, I think that Joe Rogan, like Stephen A. Smith said, a lot of that's because of Joe Rogan, you know. Like I said in my other video, you know, Conor McGregor was there that night. Conor McGregor is the biggest star in all of MMA. All of those views had a huge part to do with him being there. He's going to get this a lot if he continues to take that approach. The clickbait approach, I guess, to MMA, you know. And we got to remember, like I said, he's a broadcaster, he's not a journalist. He does it for views. Most of what he says is wrong. And he knows that. He knows that. That's why he says it. He says it for views. So why does... I think that we have to remember that. We have to remember that, and we have to take that into account. That he's doing that, you know. He's doing that. He's doing that to get your attention, guys, and it worked. It worked. So that's what I have to say, guys. Click that like button and subscribe. And I really appreciate everything. And we'll see you next time.